All right, so today we are here with Ronnie Brown. How are we doing today, Ronnie?
Doing wonderful, man. Can't complain.
So let's start off where I'll begin. When did you start playing football and why?
I started playing football about I want to say my whole life, but about I'm gonna say 5, 6 years old. Um, my mother actually got me into football because my father was in the military at the time and he wasn't around. So he was deployed in Germany. So I wanted to do sports. I wanted to do something. So my mom said, "Hey, would you like to play football?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I tried it out. I was actually as a center to start off with on the line. I thought it was pretty funny. Um, a year goes by and I seen this boy running the ball, and I'm asking coach like, "Hey, man, can I please run the ball? Let me run the ball." And the dude finally let me run the ball, and when I ran the ball, I do remember it like it was yesterday. It was I took that for 60, 50 yards and scored, and that's all she wrote. After that, I was a running back at heart and natural born running back.
Man, what a transition from offensive line to center.
Yeah, man.
And then that was kind of into my next question. Like, what made you stick with running back?
Um, I just love the thrill of being able to make it through the first convoy of linemen, and be able to then juke out linebackers and get to the second level, and then finally be able to take it for 60, 40 yards or however many yards it is. I like to be able to do that on my own instead of having to get the ball thrown to me at least 40 yards, 50 yards down the field, and then making maybe a DB miss, and then taking it to the crib. I feel like it was more exciting for me as running back, and as well as me watching Barry Sanders. One of the greats. That's probably one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite running backs of all time. Watching him, how he juked a lot of people out and still managed to score, and his speed and his juke moves was really exciting to me.
Yeah. And then let's talk about college. Obviously, you went to Shepherd. What made you go and choose Shepherd to go play football at?
So it was kind of a little small choices of schools. I mean, I had D1s, a little bit of D1s, preferred walk-ons, but I felt like that was a slap in the face towards me. I didn't really appreciate them not giving me my full, give me at least a full offer or even a small amount. Um, I actually was at this last like little combine recruiting camp or whatever. And I was doing wonderful. I was catching the pass out the backfield. I was making men miss. I ran a 40 time. Shepard was actually there and said, "Hey, we would like you down for a visit." And then went down there to Shepard, and the head coach Ernie McCook was there. I gave him introduced me to him and everything, during the interviews and stuff like that. And he said, kept it real and kept it 100 with me and said, "Hey, I like your tape. I like everything about you. We really want you to be a part of the Rams." And just basically slapped down the offer on the table and said, "Here you go." And as a man, as like with like morals and how I grew up, I feel like you being 100% real and being honest and not sugarcoating stuff, with me, it goes a long way. I like the realist. Because, like I said, I went to a lot of other different schools and they just had me on the visits, wasting my time, having me and my peoples come out there, driving out there, just blowing smoke up my butt, and I didn't really like that. I just wanted somebody to be real and say, "Hey, look, we can't offer you. Here's a preferred walk on," or stuff that is real and honest and truthful instead of wasting my time. So when Coach McCook did that, I thought it was a no-brainer with going with him and taking him up on his offer. And then I stayed in Shepherd my 3 years.
Yeah. And then obviously you're in a smaller town, smaller school. How does that kind of contribute to the overall feeling of like, your experience there?
The experience was great, man. Shepherd was wonderful. I loved everything about Shepherd. There wasn't really nothing that I could have wanted more, at Shepherd. They gave me everything that I wanted. The fan base is absolutely crazy. I feel like it's one of the best D2 atmospheres uh, in the whole nation, across the whole globe. I do feel like the coaching staff was wonderful. Coach McCook, the head coach there, makes it feel like you're at home, welcomed. Even though it's a small school in a small town, it's a big football town. Everybody comes out and enjoys the atmosphere, joins the culture there. Um, so I feel like as well, if you go to one of them bigger schools, there's a lot of trouble. There's a lot of stuff that you can get in trouble about, and get yourself into a little situation. Um, as well as the classroom though, at Shepherd, you have maybe 20, 15 kids in each class. Maybe 25. I'm exaggerating 15, but maybe 15. Um, so the professor actually knows your name, knows who you are, and you can actually kind of get that one-on-one with the professor and be able to pass your classes and be able to be professional and getting A's and B's, and striving for that degree.
Yeah, speaking of degree, what degree are you working towards? And how is it being kind of a student athlete?
Um, so I still have another year. I opted out early because of I never redshirted, and the COVID year was a year counted as a year. So I still have a couple classes to go, but I am doing sports marketing, and being a student athlete there, or in general, is pretty pretty crazy. You have a lot on your plate. You got to pass your classes. You got morning lifts or afternoon lifts. You got workouts on the field. You actually got practice. After that, then you got film. It's a very busy day as a football player. D1, D2, D3. It doesn't matter where you're at JUCO. If you're a student athlete, or I don't know about any other sports, but I do definitely know that football is very busy and has a tight schedule with a lot of things. Um, but it was kind of easy after the first year and a half of getting comfortable and getting situated with everything. You knew what everything was about, and you knew what had to get done. Like I said, the professors, you let them know, hey, listen, I'm a football player, but I'm more to that. I want to learn. I want to get an A in your class. They will do everything they can to help you. They will give you the tools that you need to succeed.
Yeah. And then tell me a little bit about the uniforms, because first time I saw you in a Shepherd uniform, I was like, wow, this kid looks like he could be a Los Angeles Ram.
Yeah, man. The uniforms is beautiful, man. We got a lot of combinations we can do. All white, gold, the gray, the blue. So there's a lot of like I want to say West Virginia took our colors. West Virginia took our style, but yeah, it's a lot of combinations that you can do with the uniforms, and I felt like every single time we put something together, it looked great. Especially the helmets. I felt like, yeah, they wasn't like every other D1 or D2 or other D3 schools with the names or different logos, but I felt like it was simple. Simple and to the point, and that's what I like. I mean, we're there to play football at the end of the day. We ain't there to look like we're going on a modeling tour.
Clean. The clean.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit
The
about Tyson. I know
there
everyone's saying like, oh, he's one of those smaller school guys you can go and hit on in the draft. What have kind of you seen from him in terms of his growth as a player? He's got that dog in him.
so Tyson Bagent, man, that's my guy, dude. That's a really good friend, I should say, a great friend. He When I first came in, I was a freshman living by myself, at the time, away from home, was just, doing what freshmen do, not really, I was focused, but not really focused on more football, again, like I was a freshman, I was there, I was trying to socialize a lot more than I was, playing football. And at the time, I didn't know if I was going to redshirt or, play. And Tyson seen my ability as a player and, and took me under his wing and kind of said, hey, man, like, if you really are true about this football stuff, you need to come correct, man. You need to lock in on the task at hand where we're looking to win championships, not just win games, not just get beaten first round of the playoffs. We want to go all the way. We want to win. And when he said that, it opened up my eyes. Really, it's a winning culture over there. It's a winning program. Year after year. And I seen what they were building. And I seen what Tyson was trying to do. And especially Tyson being who he is and being the general of the field, it kind of meant a lot to me to having to step my game up and to make him proud and make him believe in me and trust me. But Tyson, I see. I'm actually lifting and working out in Florida with Tyson and Joey Fisher. We're working out X3 in Florida at the same time. So the growth that I see from him from when I was there a freshman is definitely amazing and definitely crazy. He's always been great. He's always been good at what he does. He takes everything to heart and he takes it with everything he has. Everything that he does is on point and really dialed to a T. Um, he leads the field, in the film. He's in there. He's been doing film studies since I was in diapers. Um, so he's definitely a great leader, a great dude all around. Um, just phenomenal player, I should say. And if somebody would be a fool for not picking him up, I do feel like to me and personally, he's better than some of them or half of them quarterbacks now in the NFL.
Yeah, and then speaking of the program, what do you think it means to be a part of this program that has kind of catapulted itself into, I don't want to, let's say like fame almost, when you guys get invites to the Senior Bowl, NFLPA Bowl, you're getting a little bit more recognition.
It's amazing. It's amazing for us as individuals, but it's amazing for Shepard. Shepard, like I said, is it's amazing to be able to go from a small D2 school and be able to get recognized like that. All of us, as players, I felt like that's a great way to showcase our ability and to showcase what Shepherd has to offer, and that's given a lot more kids opportunities down the line because a lot of scouts are taking notice to Shepherd and knowing, hey, even though this is D2 ball, these kids, some of these kids are ballers. Some of these kids are really um, athletes, great athletes, and I feel like that's a great thing for us to be able to showcase our ability and put Shepherd on our back and to be able to show the world that Shepherd University is a great school to be at.
Yeah. And then looking at your stats, I saw all of your career highs came this past season. What has kind of clicked for you playing football this past year? And is it more experience? Is it more just, getting out there?
It's a lot of everything, the experience that you grow every single year. I felt like every single year I was getting a lot better, as a player, mentally, physically, and emotionally, I should say. And like I said, just having that group around me and that dudes around me to be able to support me and help me with everything that I got going on, and knowing what the goal is. I think this year it was kind of me having to play a bigger role. I was behind two great running backs my freshman year, Deontay Glover and Ty Hebron. Um, they were phenomenal running backs. A lot great to learn from. So it was it was pretty much me having to take the load off of Tyson, and having to help him, because throughout the years, it's always been Tyson Bagent, Tyson Bagent did this, Tyson Bagent did that, and basically trying to always put the team on his back, and I felt like me being able to be versatile out the backfield, catching balls downfield, running was very successful for him to be able to look to me as a weapon, and to be able to know that I'm gonna be there for him regardless.
Yeah. And then let's talk a little about your role in special teams. I know you had, I believe, it was one touchdown returned from a kickoff. I know you also played that kind of role at the NFLPA Bowl. Tell me a little bit more about your role on special teams.
So my freshman year, I actually played kickoff, punt, any type of special teams because I wanted to get on the field. Sophomore year when I kind of started taking the role of being able to catch the ball at the backfield again and be able to showcase my ability a little bit. They said, "Hey man, we appreciate that. We appreciate your efforts. If we need you on special teams, we will." So I was mainly just a kick returner and just playing second fiddle to Ty Hebron and being in during situations like a third down back, um, getting half the carries as running back. So, I mean, it's amazing, to me because I get to be able to play punt returner, kick returner, and do all these type of things. Even kick off, punt. Like I'll go down and tackle somebody. I have the speed. I did play safety in high school. I actually started my freshman year at safety, but I didn't play running back. I didn't start at running back. I started at safety. Fun fact. But yeah, I felt like being versatile and be able to showcase my ability on punt, kickoff, return is very crazy and very unique and special. I would have had a lot more kickoff returns to the crib, but they got scared and wouldn't kick it to me. They either kicked it in the end zone or kicked it away from me.
Yeah. And then I know you also played that role at the NFLPA Bowl. What was kind of that experience going in as one of the more, underutilized guys in terms of, you're a smaller school. There's guys from like Michigan, Clemson, that kind of stuff.
It was amazing to learn from all them type of dudes, man. They're all great athletes up there. Who I played around was amazing. The coaching staff was amazing too. The whole atmosphere was absolutely crazy. Um, just me learning and be able to get that ability to showcase my ability at the NFLPA game was special. And like I said, them being able to see me and seeing that, okay, even though he is from a D2 school, this boy knows how to ball. He should be D1, but the way that God had him and the way the cards folded on the table, that's what he was with and dealt with, which is understandable. Everybody has their ways of getting to the league or has their journey. Um, but yeah, I felt like me being there, showcasing my ability, them believing that I can do the same exact thing as them or even better was pretty amazing.
Yeah. And then speaking of the coaches, you got Hall of Famers, legends. What were you able to take away from those guys?
A lot of knowledge, man, throughout the whole process. Dude, I mean, the film study, the humbleness, the dedication that they bring to the table. Um, Everything that you can ask for from a coach, they did it 10 times better or even 20 times better, I should say, But Eddie George and the whole coaching staff was amazing. It was crazy to learn from him. It was crazy to get critiqued by him because I love being coached. I love being like getting, even if I do something wrong or if I do something right, there's always room for improvement for me. That's how I always think about it. I always want to be a better version of myself every time I step on the field or every day, regardless if that's in film study, regardless if that's in um on the field in being out in the world, being a better father, being a better person, any way I can, you know. I felt like I took a lot from them and what they brought to the table.
Yeah, and then I know they always emphasize, more off the field football stuff in their talks, presentations, that sort of thing. What were you able to take away from, off the football field knowledge?
Taking care of your body, man. When you're off the field, your body's your temple, pretty much. They emphasize that a lot. Um, so I mean, I've always took care of my body, but I'm taking it to the extreme now because of what they told me and what they've preached, you know. And just being off the field of being a great person, you know, being a great human being as you should always be, you know. But especially just don't take stuff for granted, you know. Be humble. Um, go to people like, you know, treat them like you're supposed to be treated, you know, and just live a righteous life, I should say.
Yeah. And then finishing us off today, what is something you've learned from your time playing football, on or off the field, advice that you can use when you're not playing football in your daily life?
Never give up. Believe in yourself, you know. You always gotta believe in yourself and bet on yourself. That's big on what I believe in is betting on yourself. You know, there's gonna be employers everywhere that's gonna try to go for the job. There's gonna be um, people that's doubting you, you know. But if you believe in yourself and you take that hard work ethic from football and carry it over and to real life, you know, you will do amazing in life. You'll succeed. You won't give up on stuff that's hard, you know. I know working is very hard, you know, and some people don't love what they do. I do preach and I do believe if you don't love football, or if you don't love it to the fullest extent, it ain't for you. You know, you gotta love to be out there on the field. You gotta love the work. You gotta love the extra hours, the long hours that you're putting in. You gotta love the early morning grinds, you know, waking up before everybody, the late nights. You gotta enjoy that. You gotta love that. And like I said, if you don't love that, then this ain't for you. This game will break you, you know, and make you do stupid things that you shouldn't be doing because you lost focus on what the goal is. You know, my goal was always to make it to the NFL. My goal was to always make sure my mother and father, and now my son, never has to struggle or worry about anything ever again. And that's always been my motto. That's always been my mindset with things, and that's the driving force that keeps me rolling. You know, I want to make my father proud. I want to make my mother proud, and especially I want to make my son proud. Be able to, you know, look up to me and be like, dang, dad did a great thing. Dad made it somewhere. Dad did something good with his life, you know, not, oh, my dad's a piece of garbage, you know, or having second thoughts on, you know, what I was doing. But definitely, gotta love what you do, you know.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much.
Hey, I appreciate it. And
To be updated every time a new episode of the podcast drops, you can follow me at Football by Nico on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening.